This is very exciting. So we're in studio right now with Coach Ron Rivera of the Commanders and Jason Wright of the Commanders as well. Fellas, good morning.
Yeah, welcome.
Morning.
Big news. I've been signed, and I get to be place kick holder. And so, Coach, thank you for watching my tapes, and I look forward to holding kicks.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, that was the so I sent in the VHS tapes to stand out, and I think I'd be really good at it.
You can hold water, I think. I don't know if you can hold. I don't know if you can hold kids.
Do you
I
even
can
really
try.
want to let him do that?
No.
Probably not.
But we're excited to have you guys in. We just announced today Big 100.3 is new home of Commanders football for games. Very, very exciting. So starting now, you can listen to the games on FM on 100.3. Draft party's coming up April 28th at FedEx, which is dope because we didn't really get to have it the last 2 years. So.
Right.
What's to look forward to at the draft party this year?
Yeah, so Thursday night, it's a chance for us to let everybody into our home and be one big family on draft night as Coach makes a great pick in the first round. But it's $5 to get in. All the money goes to the Washington Commanders Charitable Foundation. That goes right back into the community. Be there around alumni, the people you've made memories with in burgundy and gold over the years. Get on the field, kick field goals, and just engage with one another as we build the next championship roster under Ron.
How special.
Yeah, no pressure either. I have a couple of questions for you, Coach, aside from being place kicker. So,
brace yourself, my friend. Brace yourself.
Because I think there's stuff about like pro football that I'm curious about. So let's just say draft day, I go #1 to the Commanders. I sign a contract, 2 years, $10 million. How do I get paid? Because in the real world, we talk about direct deposit hits on a Friday, and I know.
Yeah.
But in the football season, can you defer payments? I know some teachers defer payments. How does that actually work from behind the scenes standpoint?
Well, for the most part, it's based on how the player does want to get paid. For the most part, they get paid once a week. They can get paid bi-weekly. They can defer, figure out how they want to set it up. But once a guy is signed, hey, he's yours.
And let me ask this, Coach.
Okay.
And you've been a coach for a long time. Dumbest thing you've seen a player buy with a signing bonus?
Oh, Lord.
Where you just go, you want to know what?
Most unique thing.
That's a better way to put it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Most unique thing.
Way to put it. Gosh.
But Ron, what did you do? Because when you got your first big check, what did you buy? That was your unique purchase.
Well, I got engaged.
Oh, look at you.
Best purchase ever.
But see,
Okay, you win.
Yeah, but from that point on, believe me, I wasn't buying a lot. Somebody else was in charge of that. She knows who she is.
You are a good man.
Okay,
Yes.
but Coach, back to the question though. So or at least the craziest thing where you go, okay.
Well, I've seen guys that have bought cars and homes, for their parents. Seen players buy dogs, unique dogs.
Okay.
That's been an interesting one. We had a guy, he bought a fully trained Rottweiler, and it was one of those dogs that was taught in another language.
Oh, wow. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So
dang.
at first it was like guys were telling the dog to sit or stay, and the dog would just keep walking. And the guy said, that's got to be the dumbest. And the guy said, no, you got to do it in German. He goes,
Oh, well.
I don't speak the language. How am I going to get the dog to sit? So that was kind of a unique thing. That was an interesting
Unique
one.
is the word for that.
I can't imagine the pressure on draft day, and more so, we've all sent a text to the wrong person before and go, wrong person. When the pick comes in, how many times do we check and just go, this is for sure the right guy, right? What's the process as far as that goes?
Oh, no, that's very much it. What happens is you put a list of 5 guys as they're getting closer to your pick. So we got pick 11. So probably when it goes around to pick 6, we'll put our 5 guys up on the board, and we'll say, okay, this is our first of the 5.
Sure.
As long as he doesn't get picked, he's our first pick. If he gets picked, then we go to the next guy, right on down. So you're sitting there and you've got all these cards up there, and you got them all on your desk, and you're looking at it, and you're listening to what's going on. Pick 6 comes in, pick 7, pick 8, pick 9, pick 10. And go, all right, hey, we're on the clock now. Let's go. We'll call the name out. We'll repeat the name. We'll spell the name out. Okay.
Sure.
We'll repeat where he's from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'll get his phone number. We'll call the player.
Yep.
We'll talk to the player.
Sure.
Make sure he's alive.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Well, listen.
That
Oh
is
my
definitely
God.
important.
Yeah.
We'll talk with him and say, okay, listen, hey, you're going to be a commander. Welcome to the team. Just listen up. Your name's coming out next.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then what we do is we double check it just as we call it in. We'll tell the person that we have assigned that will be in Vegas. We will spell it out to him. We will have him spell it back to us.
Yeah.
He will say it name by name. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's John Doe, he will say John Doe, D-O-E.
Yes.
And
Y'all
then
are
we'll
prepared.
say turn it in, and then he turns it in.
Yeah. I mean, so basically, it's pretty hard to mess it up.
It is, unless you're in an absolute hurry. Because sometimes I've been one of the war rooms way back in the day.
Sure.
when we were trying to make a deal, the deal didn't work out. It fell through, and then all of a sudden, our people had to hurry through this. And so they had to speed up the whole process.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
sure.
And you're watching the clock because if it gets to 0, the team that picks next, they can jump in front of you and pick.
Sure.
And if that's the guy you were trying to get, you're going to lose out on the guy.
Oh my God. Okay, that's too much for me.
Sheesh.
Yeah. That's a whole lot.
So basically, blood pressure is tasted on the daily. Like,
Yeah, I can't imagine. Now, when the Commanders eventually win the big game again, win the Super Bowl, what flavor of Gatorade do you prefer to have dumped on you? If you had to pick, like lemon lime, do a red guy, what's your ideal Gatorade flavor?
I'm an old school guy, so I go back to the old lemon lime.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Orange forever, ever. Dang.
No, old school.
Oh,
very
orange
old.
all the
In fact,
way.
it started out lemon lime was the first flavor.
Back in the
Fruit
day.
punch?
Back in the
Way
day.
back in the day.
Oh, man.
I know there's so much going on. Again, the Commanders going to be on the Big 100 this fall, talking to Coach Rivera and Jason Wright at the Commanders. The headsets. Does anybody, when you're blowing a team out, does anybody ever go like, "Hey, we going to go to Red Lobster after the game today?" And like, is that ever like?
I'll tell you a great little story. Back in the day when I was playing, and Jason, this may happen to you as well when you were playing, we were beating this team pretty good. And there was a few minutes left to go, and we're in the huddle. Guy calls to play, and one of the other guys goes, hey, you know where we all need to go? We all need to go to Mother's, and you know, after we're myself, he goes, guys, we got 2.5 minutes left to go.
we used to plan the card games on the plane.
Okay.
In the fourth quarter when we were just running down the clock. Like, we're going to get a game of spades. We're going to get a game.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what we were planning in the fourth quarter. How we're going to play. What we're going to play on the plane on the way back. Yeah.
We have a lot of folks who listen to the show. Obviously, are not in the NFL or professional coaches, but maybe stepping into like new leadership roles. And there's a lot of people who changed jobs the last year. You guys are relatively new, of course, to this area. So, what's one piece of advice you give to somebody starting a new company about, I guess, just leadership and just instilling your own culture and still not trying to break traditions of the past, if you will? What's the one piece you give?
I give 2 pieces of advice to people. In order to understand tradition and culture, the first thing is listen. Listen and take notes, and then listen some more and write all of it down and study it like it's your job, right? Because the more that gets into your head where you can collect the history of folks that have been there for some time, then you're going to make decisions with that in mind.
Sure.
And then the second thing is be honest with people.
Ooh.
If you got to be honest with folks. You got to tell them where things are headed. You got to tell them that things are going to be hard, that you're going to navigate challenges, that change can feel disruptive. You got to be on the real with people. And if you do those 2 things, you listen and then you're honest about where things are going and how they're changing, you get to a good spot.
I agree with
Respect.
I agree with Jason on the listen. And one of the things when you do have to talk to people and tell people certain things, there's 2 things I tell them about is, one is tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear.
That's it.
Okay, because if you don't, that's on you. And then second thing, as a leader, and you're going to delegate responsibility, you're going to delegate the authority, but understand this, you still have to set the standard. Okay, because if you say, hey, you're in charge of this, but you don't tell them how you want it done, they're going to do it to the best of their ability. And if it's not up to your standard, that's on you because, again, they're going to do it the best they know how.
Sure.
So you have to set the standard so everybody knows where they have to end up.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm
I love
putting that in
that.
the back pocket.
This is the one last question. This is the most serious question. Overtime, you pick heads or tails, coach. Which we're going with? Gut instinct.
The best part about that is I don't have to pick it. It's the captain we send out on the field. So, okay, that's the first decision I delegate to them.
When I was a captain, I always picked tails.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because I'm a math guy. And so if you pick the same thing every time, you always have a 50% probability. If you change it up, in my mind, I mean, it's still always 50% probability.
Yeah.
In my mind, if I changed it, I was messing with the odds.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
Okay, I got a philosophy on that too. When I went out as a captain, I always pick tails because it never fails.
Yes, I was
That's
going to
it.
say.
Tails never
Waiting for
fails.
something like
Tails
that.
never fails.
Jason, you're giving a bunch of dudes excuses to use the same pickup lines and dating apps. But
No.
if you keep using this line, eventually it's going to work. Talking to Coach Rivera, Jason Wright of the Commanders. Again, they start on Big 100 this fall. The cool thing, too, the Commanders channel on the iHeart app, so you can listen to archive games, which is really, really cool. But
That is neat.
Appreciate you guys coming in. Practice when I need to show up for the holding thing.
Okay.
Oh, you mean Waterboy?
No, place hold. I'm holding the ball.
No, and be early. Okay.
Yeah.
We start April 18th,
Okay. That's
2021.
That's Coach. Oh, yeah, for a second, I was really going to check my calendar and be like, this might actually be like invincible. Guys, we appreciate you coming in. Cannot wait to see the season. Thanks again, head coach Ron Rivera and Jason Wright of the Commanders. Catch them this fall on Big 100.